Welcome to ShortView Trading. It's your morning market hit for Monday, 13th of July. What matters today and this week for traders? Strong momentum in equity markets has continued overnight, following on from Friday's trading session where the US was strong. Overnight in Asia, we've seen Chinese equities up sharply. The Shenzhen up 3%, the Shanghai Comp up just short of 2%. A continuation of really the last couple of weeks over in China. With that, US equity futures are up overnight in Asia, 0.6% or so on the S&P and the Nasdaq. And interestingly, what we're seeing on that chart we've been showing you on the Nasdaq trend over recent weeks is the index is pushing above the top end of that channel, pushing outside the range that it's been in terms of that uptrend channel over recent weeks. So at times like this, it's tempting to chase the momentum. Liquidity is clearly fueling it, and there's lots of liquidity coming from the Fed and other central banks around the world. And clearly that's adding to upside momentum. And of course, over and above that, the number of day traders continues to grow and the stock mania builds in the tech sector. But it's important to retain discipline in trading and not become emotional about trades and momentum that you see in markets. That's why we like to keep an eye on the models. The message of the models remains pretty consistent. Whether you're looking at the Nasdaq 100 technical model, it's clearly still overbought. The FANGs as an indicator, a collective group of stocks, is now on a strong sell on a technical scoring system and as such deeply overbought. The fund flows, the hot money is into the Nasdaq 100 as we've been highlighting in the last couple of days, and the put to call ratio that's Nasdaq specific is also back on sell. Added to that, the breadth in the Nasdaq's interesting because the breadth is narrowing, so it's fewer stocks driving the index higher, particularly the FANG stocks as we've seen, but that's some one or two of the other concept stocks. But certainly the breadth of that advance has rolled over, as you can see in the model in front of you now. And that narrowing is often a precursor to some give back in the headline index. So this is clearly a challenging market to trade in, given the momentum that's underpinned by the liquidity, but the contrary signals from our indicators. For more details on how we're playing this, please see today's daily rag available to subscribers and via the website. So what are we watching today and this week? Well, macro data today's pretty light, but this week there's lots going on. There's a number of key themes. There's inflation data from across the world, whether you're talking about the US, Eurozone or the UK, all of them have headline and core CPI out this week. Added to that, there's a number of central banks meeting, including the ECB Thursday, the Bank of Japan overnight Wednesday morning, London time, and the Bank of Canada Wednesday as well. And there's some other important global meetings as well, with OPEC Plus on Wednesday, EU leaders meeting back end of this week, and the G20 finance and central bank governors meeting also at the back end of this week into the weekend. Over and above that, lots of key macro, US retail sales, for example, out later this week. Chinese Q2 GDP and some other Chinese data on Thursday, and a bunch of other stuff as well. On top of that, of course, it's a critical week, earnings kicking off in the US, Q2 earnings, lots of banks this week. What sort of loan loss provisions will there be? How big will they be? How tough will they see the outlook? These are key for the global macro, the US macro, and of course the outlook for their company earnings. So that's it from us. That's your morning market hit for Monday, 13th of July. Thank you for listening. Please do subscribe on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and or Facebook. Simply search under ShortView Trading. Otherwise, have a great week. Thanks very much.